Welcome to Ask Yourself Why Not, the podcast where two friends read a lot of self-help books, listen to a lot of podcasts, and talk it out with each other and our community.
So we can all feel better in real life without the pressure to fix ourselves.
We're your hosts,
Shay
and Jayla,
and we're really glad you're here. What's up, Why Notters?
What is up?
This is Shay.
And this is Jayla.
And this is the Ask Yourself Why Not podcast.
Place you come where you stop asking yourself why.
And you start asking yourself, why not?
Yes. So we have an event coming up in a couple months, right?
It is the event.
Yeah.
I feel like this is our biggest event that we put on. It's grown so much since year one. And it is called Empower Fest.
Yes. So Empower Fest 2026, Empower Fest Wheeling, whatever you want to call it. It is June 27th and it's down at Waterfront Hall. A little later this year, due to just schedules and Waterfront's schedule, they are slamming down there. So we're excited to bring it back to that new venue. We do have more space to add more vendors and experience stations. So if you were an attendee, as a ticket attendee last year, we'll have a couple more things available. And then also, if you want to be a vendor or experience station, shout out to us.
Yep, a little bit. If you did not attend Empower Fest, our whole mission from the Ask Yourself Why Not from the beginning has been to help others feel good through self-help and community. And so one of the things that we wanted to do with this event is feature entrepreneurs in our area that sell goods, our vendors, and then also who sell experiences. And we know how busy
services.
Yeah, we know how busy we all are in our days and how sometimes you've been meaning to try a service, but you haven't got the opportunity to. So we wanted to bring as many of these different kind of services together in one space and that you could get free mini experiences.
Yeah. And I also think, don't sleep on the space. Like it's a very welcoming space for you to try things because, trying new things can be a little challenging, It's new things. So we're really big on having that welcoming space where like-minded people, we're all here for the same thing, to try new things, right? So it's not, maybe you haven't had the time or maybe you just haven't had that confidence to try it, right? So you can get little tidbits of little services and maybe it'll be your next favorite thing to where you actually put it on your schedule for the entire year.
I know I did. A lot of the vendors that we had from last year and experience stations became some of the places that I regularly go to and shop from. And then this is an event too, where it's so fun to bring your girlfriend, maybe your sister, your mom, or you could show up by yourself, meet a new best friend there and have just as much fun throughout the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be putting tickets on sale for that here soon. So stay tuned. We're working on finalizing our lists here.
Absolutely.
It's going to be so much fun. So join us.
Yes. So today, we're going to be talking about just having that autopilot life, like feeling like it's Groundhog Day. And I want to stress first and foremost that if you are feeling like you're living Groundhog Day, and what that means is just every day's the same. You're just feeling kind of just mundane, like, just uninspired. It does not mean that you do not love your life. Okay. But as me and Che have talked over and over and over again, our brains, that's what our brains are pretty much created to do. Like they catch patterns, they get familiar, they're machines. So when our brain is like wired to be unconscious. We just do things unconscious. 90%, whatever.
95% of what we do every day is operated from our subconscious mind.
Yes, which is literally autopilot. But sometimes, you can just kind of pause and be like, man, why do I feel like just every day is the same?
Yep.
Right? And it can just feel like flat.
Yeah, like your alarm goes off, you do the same routine, you eat the same thing for breakfast,
same drive.
You make your coffee the same way, and then suddenly it's Friday and you do the same thing on Friday that you did last Friday, and your life just looks the same.
And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it, but I got a little curious and I was like, you know what are some things that I can do in my life that can make my life feel like I'm doing new things. And I don't mean like go jump on a plane and I mean, you should take a vacation, but you can't do that every day. You can't even do that every week. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like I wanted to do a little bit research on what you can do to kind of have your life feel a little bit more exciting and not the same thing every day
Yeah,
because
sometimes anticipating what you're gonna experience
mhm.
is a good mood booster as well. So if you're like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
I've got a new coffee
just
creamer."
like get excited. So
Yeah.
number 1, change your inputs.
Mhm.
Um I think we're just out of we always talk about creating routines, right? Because
Mhm.
that's how we're successful in things. But when I say change your inputs, like maybe if you listen to a certain style of music, like maybe you're a country listener or whichever, maybe listen to some 70s or something that
Mhm.
morning. Take a different route to work. This one's big.
Yeah, my husband recently discovered master classes, and it's been
Mhm.
fun watching
Oh, I
him.
love that app.
Yeah, it's been fun
Mhm.
watching him, and they're like soccer master classes, and
Yeah.
that's what he loves to learn about right now.
I still have a subscription to that.
Yeah, but if
But
you
I
go
haven't done one in a while.
you can go to do something like that and be like, "Ooh, I've always wanted to learn about, knitting or
Or
whatever it is."
cooking, they basically what master class is, guys, is they will take an expert or, a master on a subject, and they will just do, like, a little mini class on it,
Mhm.
and it's basically, like, you can become an expert from this little class, and I've listened to one on, like, the food we eat,
Mhm.
um, which that one was a little scary.
Sarah Blakely from Spanx has a master class on there on
Yeah,
starting a business,
yeah,
and it's just fun. So those are little things that you can do, and that
mhm,
anticipation of, "Ooh, I'm going to learn about this today,"
yeah.
puts a little excitement in your day.
Yeah, and they're broke up into, like, little almost like podcast segments too,
Mhm.
so they're a little bite-sized, it's good.
Makes you feel alive.
Yeah, or it makes you feel excited to just learn something. I love this one. Add a highlight in your day.
Yeah, the idea of giving yourself one small thing to look forward to in
Yes,
your day. So,
and like I said, it doesn't mean go jump on a plane, you
for
know?
me, honestly, like a new coffee creamer is exciting
I
or a new flavor of coffee, something like that. I'd be like, "Ooh, I'm getting
or
up."
just going to a new coffee shop, because we're a creature of habits. I love supporting all the local ones around here. But I get excited thinking of going to, like, a new coffee shop. I know there's one, um, down in Center Market now,
Mhm.
it's the same owners at Market Cafe, but they actually moved over, and they're open morning, lunch, and evening, and they have, all kinds of, like, gourmet coffees, which
Mhm.
is not really something I would do, like a gourmet coffee, but maybe I'll do it.
It's exciting thinking about it.
Yeah.
Jayla and I had it was back in February, which seems like an
Oh
eternity
my
ago at this
gosh.
point. We had a favorite things party, like a Galentine's thing.
Mhm.
Sonia gave us um, Clippers tea samples. And
Tea.
I
Mhm.
have really enjoyed trying all the different flavors of the
Yeah.
Clippers tea. And honestly, it adds a little bit of excitement in my evening when I'm trying to wind down.
Yes. Buying a new color of lipstick,
Hmm.
wearing a outfit, that you know what's funny that I like to do? Well, it may not be funny, but if it's I kinda like to dress more sparkly if it's raining
Uh huh.
because I feel like it, like, helps lift my mood because naturally if it's gray and rainy, it's kinda you feel a little, like, flat, right?
Yeah. Gives the day a little bit
Yeah,
more of a
so
boost.
sometimes I'll wear more sparkly jewelry or I'll wear
Hmm.
bright pink lipstick, to counteract that. But it's something you can look forward to. Maybe buy yourself a new top or
Yes.
something and plan to wear it.
Well, you know what I did recently is I ended up purchasing. So for years I've worn the Apple Watch, and I've kind
Mhm.
of gotten away from that.
Me too.
The text messaging on there has become a stressor. It's just
Mhm.
constantly buzzing and taking my attention away.
I do use
So
do not disturb a lot.
I ended up purchasing, and I haven't got it yet, but I'm excited, the Aura Ring. And you can use
Oh,
your health savings account to purchase that because it is a little bit pricey initially.
yeah.
But the data that this thing is going to put out, I'm very excited to learn more about my body. My friend was telling me that
Dawn?
no, one of my friends that I work with has one.
Oh,
She was
okay.
telling me, girl, it was like, you might be coming down with something. She was like, 2 days
I
later, I
know.
was sick.
I almost bought one
I'm
for
excited.
Christmas when they ran that special, and I was talking to Dawn about it, and
Hmm.
Dawn, the yoga teacher,
Yes.
she
Flying spoon
absolutely
owner.
freaking loves her. However, I can't get away from my Apple Watch yet because I
Yeah.
drive a lot and with my job, but, I
So
probably eventually get one too.
but yes, it's putting a little bit of energy behind my health. Like I just want to learn more, if that makes sense. They have these apps you can connect it to,
Yep.
like Noom is one of them, and you can do body scans on Noom and
Mhm.
facial scans, and it can tell you if you have good cholesterol by looking at your face. It's wild.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Noelle talks about that ring all the time too.
yeah,
She loves that.
so I am excited about that.
Yes. So what's another way we can break the autopilot? Do something intentionally. Because like I said, everything is unconscious, right?
Yeah.
It's facts. That's how our brain is.
Eating without your phone is a
Yeah.
good one. That is a really good one to not like overeat and also to create space. And we did an episode around creating space in your day, but just like allowing yourself to enjoy a meal without the distraction of your phone.
Yeah. Do you remember I can't remember what podcast we were listening to, but, like, we talk about on, neuroplasticity and how our brains will just naturally focus on the same things, you
Mhm.
know? And I like to when I'm driving, like, whenever I look out and I notice, like, of course, I will naturally notice something, but I will intentionally change my focus on something else. Like, maybe I'm driving and I'm gonna naturally notice the trees.
Mhm.
Well, I will switch that and I will look at the sidewalks or something, see if there's anything on the sidewalks. And I've noticed that that kinda helps me feel like I'm, like, challenging my brain a little bit.
Mm. Breaking
Kinda
up the monotony.
yeah, but it like,
Mhm.
our brains are machines, and, like, I think even just something as simple as that, like, whatever you notice, like, intentionally look for something else.
Yeah, there's that one book that we did, The E Squared, and it
Mhm.
talks about manifesting. And one of the things they say is to tell yourself, maybe today I'm going to see sand colored cars.
Or
And
heart-shaped things.
yeah, just like it gives your brain a challenge and
Mhm.
something to focus on. So that's a good one too to kind of bring you
Yep,
out. It's just awareness in your day,
yep.
right? It
Micro
makes you alive.
adventures, Saturday was so nice. I went up to Oglebay and, I wanted to go hiking, and we went on a trail, but then we could see, like, a trail off the beaten path, but it used to be a trail, and we took that, and it was fun. It was like a 2-mile long adventure. Definitely happy I'm a yoga teacher because I probably woulda lost my balance and tumbled down the hill.
Yeah. There's
Multiple times. But right there, like I went up to Oglebay, who, they don't really have a ton of trails, and the ones they
mhm.
do, they're shorter. They have a couple on the other side of 88 too. Maybe go off the trail a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, don't put yourself in danger, like be smart about it, but go on a little adventure. Like it was
Yeah.
exciting because we didn't know what we were coming. Ended up having to climb through a creek and up a big hill,
Uh, I love that you called it micro adventures too. And it makes me think when we were in Chile, they were in
hmm
Santiago, Chile, which is their capital.
Just a little micro adventure.
It was a grand adventure. But one of the things that we witnessed was this rollerblading class. And I was like, that's fun. I used to rollerblade. I remember I bought my rollerblades at Kmart. That's how long ago this was, which doesn't even exist. But things like that too, where you're like, you know what?
I love
I'm going to ride my
rollerblading.
bike or I'm going to rollerblade. I'm going to learn
Yes. I
something
bought
new.
some during COVID, and I have used them, like, every spring and summer since then.
Hmm.
Like, I like them. It does I will say, it's hard to find flat
You have to go the trails.
asphalt on the only one I know is by Uncle Pete's right there,
Mhm.
but you still gotta really watch yourself there.
Yeah, but just like a different kind of adventure
Yeah,
there.
or maybe just go to a new park. I mean, we live in Wheeling, and sometimes it feels like St. Clairsville is just a whole different country, you
It
know what I
does.
mean? But they have beautiful
Their
trails.
trail's
They
beautiful.
have beautiful
Mhm.
parks, like, maybe take a little trip over there and experience their trail, like, if you're into walking or biking or whichever, you
Yeah.
know? Just try to put yourself in different surroundings.
Locally too, we have Ogilvy Institute. They have so many classes.
Mhm.
I know a couple of our friends have taken their adult tap class, and that's super fun too. It's cool. I love watching the ladies on Instagram, and I don't know if you guys are like this too, but they're the shuffle dancers. They look so fun. And I have
Mhm.
for years thought, I want to learn how to shuffle dance, not
Maybe
taking the
there's a
time to do
master
it.
class for it.
Yeah, just learn it, right?
Yeah.
It'd be
Do
fun.
something for future you.
We always talk about this. Do something your
Mhm.
future self would thank you
Yeah.
for.
Book an
This,
appointment.
yeah,
I've been booking all the appointments lately,
me too.
all of them.
Yep. Got my
Um,
colonoscopy done. We talked about that, prioritizing your health. That
yeah.
episode was a good one.
That can be something that kinda just pushes you to a new level, just a new level of understanding of yourself or another level of feeling confidence in your body,
Yep.
knowing that you're healthy and you're strong, like, don't sleep on that. That's something that can that gets me excited. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I know another one too for your future self. It's like meet with your financial planner, right?
Mhm,
Shout out to Fort Henry Capital. They're sponsoring Empower Fest. Russell
mhm,
Duncan there. But yeah, those are not fun things to do, but your future self will thank you for doing that. And it'll probably
and
help you learn things too.
it can knock you off your wheel, right?
And another thing I think your future self may thank you for is if there is something that you've been wanting to learn more about or do or start as a side gig, maybe you send that email to a connection that says, "Hey, I've really wanted to get into this. I know you're ahead of me in the process. Can we meet for coffee
Yeah.
sometime?"
Don't sleep on human connection. I'm glad
Hmm.
you brought that up because text somebody you've been thinking about.
Hmm.
Like every now and then, my best friend from high school, Katie, I will send her a message like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Katie the Carney with you.
Yeah.
I love
I'll
it.
just send her or, just send her a message like, "Hey, thinking of you," or listen
Mhm.
to a song that makes you think of somebody and then send it to them. You know what I mean? Like just something little or send a reel or something, a funny reel or whatever. Just initiate that connection that can just bring up, such a strong connection like this.
Yeah,
That can really,
think that's a good one.
make your day.
Another one that I thought was really interesting lately is I had listened to a podcast and it was a person going through a similar situation that I was going
Mhm.
through, and the situation I was going through was kind of like irritating me, but
Mhm.
the way that I heard them view it
Mhm.
was a different perspective, and it has completely changed the way that I see my situation. So sometimes if something's
Yeah.
irritating you, maybe your future self would thank you if you looked at it from a different viewpoint as well.
Mhm.
So I liked that.
Maybe there's a podcast for it.
Yes, there's podcasts for
There's a
everything.
podcast for
Put a
everything, right?
topic in and it'll come up.
Yes. So to recap, if you're feeling like you're waking up and you're doing the same thing and you're just feeling low inspiration, flat, like it doesn't mean that you don't like your life.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean you don't have a great life. It just means that science is literally taken over because that's what our brains are formed to do. But like we gave you some great examples of just little things you can sprinkle in your day just to get excited for
Mhm.
something. Maybe I mean, another one, like, maybe do something silly with your kids, like,
Mm.
play a silly game or something, I don't
We're
know.
gonna be coloring eggs here soon. That's
Mm,
always
we were
fun.
coloring eggs
I saw you
in, like,
guys.
January, okay?
Yeah.
We're way ahead.
You guys are overachievers
We're
with the
way
egg
ahead.
coloring. But that's always a fun one.
Well, yeah, right there's something that we did that was taboo, but it was fun. I
Yeah.
do not like coloring eggs, by the
My
way.
friend Sam, this was years ago when the memory popped up. She had us come over and we did this like egg coloring thing, but it was I forget what it is even called. I think it was like a Polish way of doing it.
Mhm.
It took hours, but it was like you have this wax marker and you're doing different
The wax
layers.
crayon?
Yeah, you're doing like different
Yeah.
layers of it. So you can even get creative with that because at the end of the day, we get bored with our day to day. Like Jayla said, we love our life, but sometimes we get bored. And when we get bored, sometimes we create drama in our
Yeah,
own minds
just to add some spark.
just to entertain ourselves.
Or we start going down a trail like, "What's wrong with me?"
Yes. Or you
You know?
start becoming a little introspective in that way. Right. But we're just saying maybe create some awareness around that. Oprah always says awareness is the key to joy, to
It
happiness, to
is.
life, right?
Yeah,
Create some awareness around it.
yeah.
Put some spark
And
into your
and
life.
and you know what? Gratitude,
Yeah.
being thankful for things, like, that can always pull you out of,
Mhm.
"What's wrong with me? I'm so bored with my life,"
Mhm.
Maybe sit down and write down everything you're grateful for, all the things you have, your health, your kids, your
Mhm.
husband, your job, your friends, your house, your animals, it's just
The
sometimes you
list goes on
have
and on.
to actually be intentional
Mhm.
to actually just see things, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I
This
like
is
it.
the Ask
Ask
Yourself
yourself why
Why
not
Not
podcast.
podcast.